You're listening to the weekly Parsha Podcast with Ari Goldwag, recorded with Hashem's never-ending assistance in Ramat Beit Shemesh Israel 5779, 2019. This week's Parsha is Parsha Vaeschanan, and I'm excited to be using a brand new Sefer, Sifsei Chaim, the 5th volume, which came out recently. I got for my birthday. And he speaks about the idea of Ahava, because in our Parsha this week we have the concept of love of Hashem. V'ahavtas Hashem Elokecha, b'chol levavcha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol me'odecha. You should love Hashem your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your abundance. So he brings down Ahava, bechira, the concept of love is very much related to free will. Hamaftech l'ruchnis, he starts off by telling us that love is the key to spirituality. Every single day, we say the words Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We accept upon ourselves the fact that God is one, God is our King. We want to do His will. We then say this verse: you should love Hashem your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your abundance. Ahava ina rak achas mitzvos haTorah. Says Chaim Friedlander, the Sifsei Chaim. He says that love of Hashem is not just one of the commandments of the Torah. It's not just a commandment. It is the key through which a person can get through, can begin, can rise up to be able to actively engage in accepting the yoke of heaven. As the verses continue to speak about the fact that we should fulfill all the commandments, when we do so, all will be well. So the pathway, the key to it, the beginning of it is Avas Hashem, loving Hashem. Rabbeinu Yonah al pasuk. Rabbeinu Yonah says, this is a verse in Mishlei, chapter 1, verse 22. Ad masai pesim te'alvu pesi. How long shall the fools love their foolishness? Kasav, Rabbeinu Yonah writes like this. Pisayim heim anoshim sheim chaluke hadas. What's a fool? A fool is somebody whose mind is split. They don't have a firm commitment to what they believe to be true. They're easily fooled, they're easily convinced. Umidas hapesi asher kalu cholush v'deyos meshuvoshes. Sorry, asher sichlei cholush. The fool, he has a weak mind, and his opinions are messed up. His gear to ahavu pesi. So there the verse says he will love his foolishness. Ha'ava hiya bechira. What does it mean that he loves foolishness? Says Rabbeinu Yonah an amazing thing, that love is choice. We choose what we love, and the things that we love, we choose. The fools choose their path of foolishness, and they fool themselves to believe that which they are doing is in fact the correct way. Ikar abechiras, says Rabbeinu Yonah, that's the quote. Now, Rav Chaim Friedlander says, Ikar abechira hi la'ir ahava v'haracha. The main purpose, or the main point that we have of free choice is to awaken ourselves to love, to awaken ourselves to value. Ki kisheyesh ahava v'haracha, because when a person loves something and values something, mamela hu beicher mashu oyev. So it comes out automatically. It's a pal yaitse. It's automatic. The thing that you love, the thing that you value, you have a desire to do that thing. You have a desire to do that thing. You have a desire to accomplish in that area. Uvacharta b'chaim, the Torah said you shall choose life. What does it mean, choose life? It means learn how to love spirituality. Learn how to love the spiritual life. When a person loves spirituality, he chooses spirituality, right? Like we said, that which a person loves is that which he chooses. Is that which he has a mania, he has something inside of him that's pushing him to do that, to accomplish that. Rabbeinu Yonah writes, this is in Shari Tshuva. You should know that the highest levels are something that we can attain, that are given over to us, as positive commandments. For example, like the ability. We have the ability. We have this amazing ability to choose. We can choose whatever we want. That's how Hashem gave every single human being the ability to choose. Right? That's what the verse says. You should choose life. Rabbi Chaim Friedlander wants to understand, why does Rabbeinu Yonah define this as a positive commandment? Every single time a person chooses, let's say if a person sees a poor person and they're debating whether or not they should give them tzedakah, give them charity. That's also part of a person has to choose that. That's the idea of choosing. What is the idea here? That you shall choose life. As we explained, it means to love spirituality, to love spiritual life. Right? We choose what we love. We choose what turns us on. We choose what we get excited by. That's our choice. Okay, and I would add that we choose our surroundings and who we associate with, because whoever's around us and what they're excited about is what excites us. It's important to know that. Says Reb Chaim Friedlander, the Torah gives us the means to awaken that love. An amazing thing, says Reb Chaim Friedlander. How do we develop a love for Torah? How do we develop a love for spirituality? How do we develop a love for Yiddishkeit, a love for our relationship with Hashem? The answer is the Torah gives us the answer. Talk about it. Keep talking about it. Speak. Give a Parsha podcast. Listen to a Parsha podcast. Say Divrei Torah. Share with your friends. Listen to Divrei Torah. The things that we speak about constantly, whatever we're talking about, that's what awakens love inside of us. By constantly being connected to the Torah. That's what gives a person a constant connection to the words of the Torah. And through this, by constantly talking about it, by constantly thinking about it, by constantly singing about it, all of these things, through the constancy of it, it creates a love, it creates a connection and a value for spirituality. The verse tells us you need to tie it onto your hand, you need to write it. Right? We have the tefillin, which are a small box. Inside of it is the Parsha, it's the parchments that contain the words of the Shema, other commandments. Right? The idea of it is, when you attach it to yourself, you create a physical reminder for yourself, and you attach it to yourself. It's a reminder to really to write it onto a person's heart. All of these things, however, are a sign, a reminder of our connection to Hashem. Tefillin ties us, literally physically binds us to the concept of going out of Egypt, which reminds us of the fact that Hashem is intimately involved in our lives. Just like He took the Jewish people out of Egypt, did amazing miracles for them. Each and every one of us has access to those miracles through our bitachon, through our faith in Hashem, through our emunah, through our belief and recognition that we know He's with us and He's going to continue to be with us. The verse tells us that the nations will see the tefillin on a person and they'll recognize that Hashem is with the Jewish people. We are chosen. We have a special obligation. We have a special commitment to Hashem, to serve Hashem. You, Hashem, have placed your name upon us, your great name. A person who has this aspect, who recognizes the ahava, the love that he can have for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he always remembers. And a person has a love for something, he never forgets about that thing. When a person is in love, he doesn't really need anything to remind him of that love. Something a person doesn't have a love for, that's something that he could forget about. That's something that he could lose. A something that a person loves. He doesn't feel anything is blocking him from getting that thing. He'll do whatever it takes to get that because he's in love. He loves that. Let's say it's a person is in love with somebody else. They'll do whatever they can to try to convince that person that they love them, that they want to take care of them, that they want to have a relationship with them. That's the power of love. He brings us an example of this we find that our Chazal tell us that after a person dies, he comes up in front of the heavenly courts and he sees a film of his lifetime and they ask him certain questions. Among them, they ask him, did you set times to study Torah every day? Were you consistently honest in your business dealings? One of the questions that they ask is Gemara and Shabbos on Daf Lamed Aleph. They ask, Tzipisa Yeshua, did you desire for the salvation to come? Did you have a yearning for Moshiach, for the times of the Messiah? This is a symbol. The reason that they ask this question is because it's a symbol. It signifies how much a person loves spirituality, how much a person has a yearning for spirituality. Right? Because what's the Yeshua, what's Moshiach's times? It's not just the time where all the problems in the world go away and everyone, the lion and the lamb lie together. It's not just about the peace. It's about a time when we can focus solely on spirituality, on coming close to God, on studying the Torah. So they're asking this question because they want to know, did you desire salvation? Did you desire the time of the Moshiach? Because if you didn't have that desire for it, it shows that it wasn't something important to you. Reb Simcha Zissel, the Alter of Kelm, so he gave a mashal. A person who's sick, he's waiting for the doctor to arrive to come and cure his sickness. Imrak Yishma Mikivan Pesach is a rash. For yards lever Pesach, Ulai Haroife Magia. If he hears even a little bit of noise outside of the door, he thinks perhaps it's already the doctor has come. Perhaps he's come to cure me. Even if he's disappointed tens of times. Because he's just waiting and waiting for the cure to come. He's waiting for the doctor to arrive. So it doesn't matter that he 10 times or 20 times or 30 times he went to the door and it wasn't him. Each time he hears a noise outside, he's still running to the door. HaChafetz Chaim, we find that it's true. The Chafetz Chaim was well known. Yisrael Meir HaKayin, Kagan, he was well known for his tzipiyah Yeshua, for his desire for Moshiach. If he would hear a noise outside in the street, he would say, maybe that's the footsteps of the Moshiach. Maybe everyone's excited outside because Moshiach has arrived. Because he lived with that spiritual desire, waiting for Moshiach, yearning for Moshiach. If you heard some kind of noise outside, you thought, oh, it must be Moshiach has arrived. Chazal, our sages say, Yeshua. The sages asked Bilam, when is the Messiah going to arrive? It's a Gemara. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's a Brisa. One more time, it's a Medrash, which are on the level of Brisius. In Shmais, Rabbah, chapter 30, section 24. Amar Lei. So he said to them, this is Bilam talking, I see it, but it's not now. I have a view of it, but it's not soon. It's not close. Hashem said to him, this is your opinion. You don't know. Bilam is a person who's not interested in my salvation, says Hashem. He's going to end up in Gehenna, he's going to end up in hell, because he's a person who's not interested in true spirituality. Said Hashem to the Chazal, to our sages who asked this question, he said, you want to know when Mashiach is going to come? Be like your great-great-grandfather, Sha'amar, Yaakov Avinu, Jacob said, Lishuascha kivisi Hashem, I yearn for your salvation, Hashem. Tzapeli Yeshushi Kreva, I'm sorry, Tzapeli Yeshushi Kreva. Desire the salvation, it is close. And it's very interesting. I'm just thinking as I'm reading what he says here, that when a person desires salvation, there's a bitachon inside of him. There's a trust. There's a faith. It's close. And it's not just it's close, like it's going to come soon. It's actually in his life. The concept of salvation, the concept of HaKadosh Baruch Hu being there to help him and to save him, take care of him. Okay. It's possible that a person can believe that the Messiah will come. But his thinking about it, his view, can be the same as a Bilam. He thinks that, if the Messiah arrives, if Moshiach comes, so then things will be better, all my problems will go away. The truth is, he's not interested in Moshiach. He's not interested in the spiritual world. He's interested in an easier life. Gam Bilam Mashiach. Bilam, who was not a spiritual person, who was a completely megusham person, who was completely involved in physicality and taiva, desire. So he also is interested in Mashiach, right? He admitted it was going to come. He said it's going to come in a long time. What is that? What is the idea? What is the concept? It's true. It's actually true. Mashiach hasn't come yet. It's been 3,000 years since he spoke, more than 3,000 years, right? But there's a void that you could be living 3,000 years ago, and Mashiach is close. Like we said, Mashiach is close. The Messiah, the Yeshua is close. It means spirituality is close. The world of Mashiach is close, right? He was trying to push away the time. He's like, wait, my chashivus, my importance is going to be gone when the Messiah arrives. If every single person has a revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is what it's going to be like when Moshiach comes, so what's my importance, said Bilam? I'm going to be a nothing. Well, what about my taivas? I want my taivas to be fulfilled. I want all my desires to be fulfilled. That's not going to happen if Moshiach comes. So too, it's possible that a person, just below his consciousness, below his awareness, doesn't really want Moshiach to come. They're afraid Moshiach will come. Hey, what's going to be with my business when Moshiach comes? I've got important things going on over here. I've got all these. I'm in the middle of building a house. I'm in the middle of this. I'm in the middle of that. Moshiach can't come now. Their whole world will be destroyed. They're all involved. And I said, they're all involved in desires for this world. So they may say the words, please Hashem, come back to Jerusalem, please bring back the spiritual world. But they don't really mean it, because they're involved in their physical world, which they'll lose when Mashiach comes. The whole reason they want Mashiach is just that they should have a better quality of life. So that's the question. Did you desire Mashiach? Did you desire that time, when you have spirituality, where spirituality will be the focus, the center of everyone's life? Okay, so now he comes back to the concept of Ava, and he shows us another place where we find Ava. When love is weakened, so then a person does indeed need signs, does need reminders. One of those reminders is tzitzis. Tzitzis that tzitzis looks like the sea, because it's it's blue, it's the color of the sea. The sea is the color of the heavens. The heavens are the color of the kisei kavod, of God's divine throne of glory. It's such a complicated reminder. It's blue. It reminds me of the sea. It reminds me of the heavens. It reminds me of the... What is this? It's like a complicated kind of reminder. It's not a reminder. It needs to be something that I get right away. The idea is that somebody who really loves, just a little reminder. Oh wow, they remember all of the experiences that they have with their beloved. Even if at this moment the connection is a little bit weak, but Just a little bit of a reminder is enough to remind them of the whole thing. The dugma, for example. Person wants to remember his experience of joy. He wants to remember his chasana. He wants to remember his wedding. Just remember, oh my, I remember that song that we sang at the simcha. I remember the song that was at my chasana. That song, he starts to sing it. It brings him back to the moment. That way he remembers the entire feeling of joy. The point of the simon is not to create a new love. The point is to remind oneself of the love that he already has. The purpose of the tzitzis, yes, is to remind us of the love that we have from before. Requires, however, a number of thoughts to connect oneself. First I think about the blue, I think about the sea, I think about the heavens, I think about the divine throne. Because the point of it is that our mind is engaged and thinking about the God's holy throne. What is the throne of God? It's the place where God sits. What does that mean? It means it's the vehicle through which God is manifest in the world. It's all of the mitzvahs, all of the commandments that we have fulfilled of God throughout the last 3,300 years. Right? That's how the honor of God is brought out into the world. It's through our actions. It's through our fulfillment of God's will. Through this throne of God, as it were, which is created through our fulfillment of the commandments, creates a sanctification of Hashem's name in the world. Then to attach ourselves to these memories. So by doing so, we are reminded through looking at the tzitzis, through looking at the color, reminding ourselves what is the idea of the kisei kavod. It's the mitzvahs, the place where God is manifest in the world. The kach gam tefillah. Also, when it comes to prayer, we need to think about the words. And then by seeing it and mentioning and saying the words, so it awakens the mind, the thoughts. Specifically when we mention Hashem's name, when we think about and we invest from the onset, and we think about as we're saying Hashem's name, what does the name mean? So when we say the name, and first we were thinking about what does it mean, we're thinking about what does this name represent? God was, God is, God always will be. God has all of the power. God is everything, it manifests in everything. So then by doing this, as we say the name, it awakens the mind and awakens the thoughts. One more thought, Reb Chaim Friedlander leaves us off with. Noisav lekach, davar shalom oyev, in addition to this, something that a person loves, he wants with all of his heart, he never gives up on. If a person really wants it and he nevertheless gives up on it, it's a sign that he doesn't really want it. Chazal Amro, our sages say it's in the Zohar. Kalev went with the other spies, and he went straight to Hebron to pray at Kivrei Avos, at Maras HaMachpelah, the cave of the patriarchs. Al Kivrei Avos, he didn't want to fall in to the mistake of the other spies. Kalev was in a position, he was stuck. He left them. He felt pressured by them. Right? He left them. And he came to the graves of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Leah. V'tzali taman tzelusei, he prayed over there his prayer. Umata al kivrei de avon, vistaken begarme. He was in danger. There were giants there who could have hurt him, who could have caused him damage. An amazing thing, a person who feels pressured, a person who feels stuck, so he doesn't look around, he just does what he has to do, he doesn't think about it. So he came to daven in order to be saved. He had no choice. He felt like he had no choice. He had no place. He was pressured. He came. He didn't look around. He didn't mind the danger. Kalev lo yish es atzmai. Kalev did not give up on himself. He wanted to serve Hashem properly. He wanted to give himself over. This gave him the power to overcome all of the challenges. To go and do whatever necessary to pray at the place of the avos. He saw with this challenge, he saw it as something that he could give to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as a gift, so to speak, as a proof of his mesiras nefesh, of his willingness to give up whatever it is in order to be able to do Hashem's will. So the final line here is that when a person is in love, when a person loves HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when a person is serving Hashem out of love and desire and ha'aracha, as he said before, valuing spirituality, so that strengthens a person's desire. Just like a person who feels like they're stuck, like Kalev, and he has no choice. He's got to do whatever. He'll do whatever it takes. A person who is in love, a person who feels a love and a value for ruchnius, so that's something which strengthens his heart. He works with all of his heart to be able to attain it. He doesn't let go of it until he attains that level. So I want to bless you and ask you to bless me back. Hashem should help us, that we should be able to have this love, to develop this love, to develop the true appreciation for what ruchnius is. When they ask us in Shamayim after 120 years, Sipisa Yeshua, did you desire, did you want to have salvation? Did you want a world of ruchnius? Not just so that you should feel good, not just so that all your problems should go away. Did you want a world of ruchnius so that you could develop in your closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? May it be Hashem's will, may Hashem help us, that we should be able to answer with a resounding yes. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos. This podcast was made possible through the gracious donations of listeners like you. For more podcasts like this, please visit www.arigoldwag.com or search on iTunes Ari Goldwag.